Okay, so we're going to look at an Olympia SM9 today. Not the best looking SM9 we've had, but this will still help you learn how to use your Olympia SM9. And these are great typewriters, especially for those of you who are actually writers. This is one that I would recommend if you're a serious writer in terms of that's what you do. It's just not something you wish you could do sometime. You are a writer and you're going to be actually using this on a regular basis, then the Olympia is going to be perfect for you. So, okay, as an introduction, my name is Laura with Jot and Tittle Typewriters. If you're not familiar with us, please visit our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com. We have vintage typewriters and typewriter pads, non-slip typewriter pads. We have got ribbons, custom ribbons. We've got covers, and we even have puzzles, vintage looking puzzles. So that's how you can support our channel, is please shop our website, or, there's a way down there if you want to, pay for my cupcake the next time I visit my local bakery, which I love. Maybe I'll do a blog post on my favorite bakery because it's really a fantastic place. Okay. All right, let's take a look-see here. So we've got the carriages on the Olympia are so nice. They move like butter. They're just so smooth. All right, so your paper holder is gonna be right here, and you open it with this little bink. I love little buttons, don't you? I love pressing buttons. Okay. And then you have your margins, and you squeeze your margins. You don't push down. So you squeeze and drag. Everything on the Olympia is always so smooth. All right. This is all tab clear. If you pull that, that kind of clears all your tabs. Paper release. Carriage release, you press down. Now, I will say, if you've never gotten a typewriter before, not that you can't get one, but an Olympia, but I highly recommend maybe getting something that's a little less expensive and kind of just really basic and get used to it and kind of work your way into the typewriter world. And I don't know why I'm saying that, other than I think if you get something and you get frustrated with it in terms of trying to figure out how it works, I would hate for you to get frustrated and walk away and never want to try a typewriter again. So that's why I recommend maybe starting with a 60s or 70s version of a Smith Corona versus an Olympia, and kind of ease your way into it. But if you only have money budget, you're just going to buy one typewriter and that's it, then go ahead and get the Olympia, but watch the tutorial over and over. Watch it before you use it. Or if you've already got one, or you're thinking about it, if you're watching this, watch it over and over, slowly go through it so that you're not frustrated with how to use your typewriter. Okay. So your carriage is only going to move as far as you have your margins set. So again, you press down and you go back and forth. Now that bell tells you that you're at the end of your margin. It's time for you to hit your return handle and go to the next line. That's why you have a bell. Now, and some people, like my husband's like, why would you need to use move your carriage? You just do. I don't know why you end up moving your carriage constantly. So that's why it's important. This is also your carriage release here. On the left side, here is your line selector. Now, if you go all the way to the top, you'll see a little dot, and that's not going to do anything. That kind of locks your carriage handle, so it won't advance the roller. So, and then you have 3 lines for 1, 2, and 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. On this side is your paper release, and we'll show you that here in a second. I am gonna move this carriage over to the left, and I'm gonna open up this top so we can take a look at the inside. Now, this whole top comes off, and I can't remember if this is hinged or just pops off. So we're gonna find out. So what I do is I come down here, and then I just pull up, and oh good, this one's hinged. I like it when they're hinged. Some SM models, they just pop right off, and you have to like jerk it off. Okay, so this is the interior of your typewriter. This is called the escapement area. Your spools are here. They use a universal ribbon, which is a 2-inch spool with a 1/2-inch ribbon. We have those on our website, and we have a couple of different ones. I recommend getting the 48 feet one because for the price, you get a whole lot more ribbon, and it's hand rolled by us. The other ones are just ones we buy in huge amounts of bulk and have them shipped to us from overseas. And they're nice, but they're just a little bit of ribbon on them. Also, if you have your own spools and you want to use your original spools, there's an option for you called custom ribbon, where you just check out that and then you send us your spools and we'll wind it with fresh ribbon. Now this has arms kind of holding the spools in place, and you just flip those back, and then you can, I'm gonna put this down now, and then you can pull out your spool, and then you just pop it on. Now there's a little pin in there that you kind of, there you go, and it has to snap down onto that pin. You'll see that my ribbon, I don't know if you can see it, but my ribbon came out of the guide wire here, so you wanna make sure that that ribbon goes back into the guide wire. And then there's guide wires here, and then also on this side. Now, if you want to know how to properly thread your ribbon through, there's an up-close photo of this. If you click the product listing link down in the description, it'll take you to a listing for this typewriter, and it has photos. And then you can save the photo that you need for reference. Okay. Once you get your ribbon in, when you get to the end of the spool, it's not the end of the ink. There's a lot of ink in that ribbon, and this ribbon's gonna last you a really long time. But you have to reverse the direction, and you do that right here. Okay? You just go back and forth. And it doesn't matter which side. And you can go back and forth many, many, many times before you need, I'm just checking. Yeah, so you can flip it without opening the top. Now some ribbons have a grommet, excuse me, on them that will auto trigger a reverse direction, but ours don't. And if it doesn't work, you just need to always know how to manually reverse the direction of your ribbon. Now, if you're typing and then all of a sudden it just stops, or it gets really stiff, or it doesn't look right, the font's really faint, always stop immediately and check your ribbon and reverse the direction. Much of the issues you have with your typewriter are gonna have to do with your ribbon, so always check your ribbon first. Okay, I'm gonna close this, make sure it snaps down. This is a carriage lock. There we go. So up is the locked position. So once you move that carriage into the center place, it's gonna snap in there. And then to release it, you press down, okay? This is your touch selector. That just determines how hard these tight bars down in here are gonna strike your paper. So if you're really heavy-handed, you're gonna want it lesser, and if you're light-handed, you're gonna want it more. So you play around with that to get to the right selection that you need for you. Now, tabs are set down here. So this is clear, this is set. Let's see if there's any tabs on this already. So this is, oh, that's right, because I cleared it all up here. So you can go over here. Let's do it right here. We'll set it. And now that should stop right there. Yep, on. So that's your tabs. This arrow is your backspace. Backspace does not erase, but it just, if you make a mistake, type over it. And then margin release, when you get to the end of your margin and that bell goes off and says, hey, you're at the end of your line, time to hit your return handle. Well, what if you're in the middle of a word? Well, then you hit that margin. Okay, so right now it's gonna stop. You can't Oops, you can't do anything. So you hit margin release and now you can keep going. Awesome. Okay. If you want to see this, well, here, let me just, oh, I just popped my knee. That wasn't good. All right, that's how you load it. You make sure the paper is loaded underneath this bar. It's nice and even, but if it wasn't, you could bring this forward and adjust it to where you want it. Okay. Also, when it's time to take it out, I know some people love the sound of the rip, but when you're ready to take your paper out, bring this forward and then pull it out, okay? All right. And that has to be engaged for you to load your paper properly, by the way. Okay. So you're at the end. It's not gonna let you type. I mean, it's gonna let you type, but it's not gonna move. So you hit your margin release. And now, oops, don't hit two keys at once. You can type. All right, to see this in action, click the product listing link below. That'll take you to where you need to go. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, hit the notification bell. Every Saturday we come out with new typewriter listings, and we appreciate you. Happy typing.